back to another video. Today we are talking about Sasori versus Kisame. Now, as much as you know, Kisame is more powerful than Sasori. So if you want to make this a 1-to-1 fight on who is more powerful, it would be Kisame, without a doubt in my mind. But in terms of how an actual fight would go, it all comes down between who tactics get the best of each one. As Kisame, he at least is not known, or at least stated, to be prone to discount the poisons counted by Sasori's puppets and what Sasori can do from his poisons. For example, if Sasori whips out 100 puppets at one time before Kisame is able to use Samehada and use Water Wall or flood the battlefield and gets a clean cut on Kisame dies. Within his regen and within the Samehada, if Sasori keeps going within his 100 puppets and with his poison, he will eventually kill Kisame. Meaning that in a technical fight, there's a see-through way that sees Sasori winning this fight against Kisame. But if Kisame was able to go all out from the jump and was able to flood the battlefield with Samehada, then Kisame would win, as Kisame's sharks and Kisame's Samehada form is on the level of basically the One Tails, or a little bit under what a Jinchuriki would be at their full potential. And in that terms of a fight, Sasori would have to whip out the third Kazekage from his bag, of course, and within the fight would ensue. Now that just becomes, can the third Kazekage from Sasori's, who is insanely powerful, be of use against basically Kisame and his sharks? And at that point, no. Once Kisame floods that battlefield, Kisame will have the advantage no matter what Sasori tries to do. Whether it's poison or anything, Kisame is faster and stronger in that form and in that kind of battle. No matter what Sasori does, Sasori would not have the speed nor the reaction time to keep up with that version of Kisame. But as we've seen in Kisame's fights and early on in his fights when they first clash, Kisame does get cut very quickly. He gets always the first hit. It's like Kisame likes to get hit first for some reason. Like whatever he does after is self-defense. I don't get it. But anyway, as we see early on in Kisame fights, Kisame always gets hit first. He either gets a cut, a scratch, something happens to him first. Then in turns, Kisame launches back. And at that point, that fight is over. Kisame wants to get hit first. At least, according to Naruto. But if he allows that to happen with Sasori, Sasori will just inflict him with deadly poison. And Sasori can easily, and we don't know if Kisame is immune to poison, or at least to the level of poison that Sasori has. Sasori has deadly poisons that can just wipe out and kill mostly everybody in the show. Right, the only one that didn't work on is someone that has extreme health healing chakra. Of course, Kisame can potentially Samehada and him can potentially absorb Sasori's chakra, as Sasori used chakra threads to inhibit or to use his 100 puppets and of the third Hokage. Other than that, neither the puppets, neither him is made up of chakra. He used chakra threads within to help him maneuver all of his puppets. It is an extremely powerful technique. But can Kisame and Samehada, which is an interesting question, I would like to know more, because I did research and I couldn't get a definite answer. Can he absorb the threads? We know he can see the threads, and he would try to go for it. But it's not like the threads are full chakra. It's not like he's launching an attack within his chakra. It's connected to the puppets. His soul is a puppet. It's not a living living soul. So it's connected to it's connected to his own puppet, to himself, to use the other puppets. So if he can absorb the threads, or at least if he can quickly react, dodge the poison needle, and go in and counteract and disconnect all the threads to his puppets, Kisame wins, without a doubt. But if the black sand from the third Kazekage can the magnetic black sand from the third Kazekage counteract him flooding the battlefield with Samehada, which would be an extreme feat, which I think Sasori is capable of. Sasori is a Kage level fighter at that point of time. Then that is a more interesting matchup, which would be the third Kazekage versus full powered Kisame with Samehada infused. And that point, it all really depends on the battlefield. If the Kazekage can't overcome that ferocious water style jutsu that Kisame can dish out, Sasori is dead. Sasori is dead. But if the black magnetic sand can't hold up against him flooding the battlefield, which in turn allows Sasori to be able to get one clean shot to use poison against Kisame, Kisame would lose, because it all comes down if Kisame can get hit with poison. Now, if we're gonna go in character of the fight, and Kisame does want to get hit first, or Kisame gets hit first for no reason, which happens a lot in his fights, then Kisame loses. Just offer it. He would of course try to fight through the poison, but of course that would be a waiting game for Sasori, which he would have to play keep away from Kisame until the poison takes effect. And Kisame may be immune to poison just because of his training as the 7 ninja of his worth, and technically being a shark, even though he's a dude. Yeah, right. So, who would win this fight? It all comes down to battlefield tactical advantage, and or is Sasori quick enough to get the poison? If Sasori's not able to quick enough to launch the poison and Kisame goes all out off the jump and floods the battlefield, Kisame is winning 6 times out of 10. But if Sasori was able to eventually gain a poison or look for a tactical advantage to use his poison, he would win. Like and subscribe. So if I were to give this fight to anyone, it would be Kisame. It's more of a sure thing of him flooding the battlefield than Sasori being quick enough to dart him or to infect him with his poison. Like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.